Welcome everybody to the results show for the Gallery of Guitar competition. This first year of our competition, I am absolutely buzzing. I'm so excited. So is Kate. How are you doing, Kate?
I am beside myself. I'm so excited to be doing this. We've heard so much music, 27. And now we have to just pick 6.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you and I didn't actually have to pick them, and our wonderful jury were able to make that call, because we were just inundated with great talent for every single heat. It was so refreshing.
Yeah, it was. Everybody was at such a high level and bringing so much great art. And then, of course, the jury had so many fantastic things to say.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that the feedback that the jury gave was lovely, after every performance, because it gave the players that direct, immediate response to their efforts, which was so good. I mean, I remember last night, I think Tom Avilato, he was like, "I'm going to talk directly to Ryan right now," and I just thought that was just so sweet. And then Uroš Baric, on night 2 was like, "The next time, I want you to think about this with your camera setup and all this kind of stuff." And I just thought this was just so great, to be getting that first-hand advice,
money in the bank advice, because it was all solid.
So good. So look, our chat is already
howdy chat.
Fantastic to see so many people already watching. Obviously, you're all very excited to know our 6 finalists, and we will be revealing the 6 finalists in no particular order this evening. We'll just be revealing the 6 players that have been selected by the jury to come to St Andrews to perform in the final, and we'll play a little snippet of their performances, so just a couple of minutes from each player, but just to refresh the memory, because like Kate said, you heard 27 performers, so it's hard to remember. There's Valentin, one of the competitors. All the best to my fellow competitors. That's very sweet, Valentin. That's very, very nice. That is the spirit of this competition, positivity. And, all fellow colleagues together. I think it's lovely. Hello, hosts. There's Phil.
Hi, Phil. Excellent. And last night we had a bunch of our competitors also in chat cheering each other on.
Exactly. And there's Noah. Yeah, there's Noah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, good. And look, Mark got some sleep, so it looks like he made it in. Marvelous.
Oh, Mark, of course. Yeah, Mark, the builder of the first prize guitar, Mark Burnett. He's excited to see who is going to be in the final. Good luck, everyone. You were all brilliant. Yeah, couldn't say it better ourselves, Mark. It's totally true. And I hope you actually got a night's sleep there with the newborn baby, because it can be tough for sure. Well, listen, thank you all so much. There's Eleanor. Hello, lovely. It is lovely. I agree. It's very lovely. What I'll do before we start going through the 6 finalists is just talk a little bit about the final itself, Kate, because I think people are very interested to know where, when, and all the different details around it. So it takes place on Sunday, the 14th of July. In St Andrews, which is on the east coast of Scotland, beautiful old town with a fantastic university. And we're using the University of St Andrews Laidlaw Music Centre, which is a state-of-the-art, purpose-built centre, all devoted to music, which has the fantastic Macpherson Recital Hall, which is just great for guitar. Yeah. And like these heats and also this result show, it will be live streamed on Gallery of Guitar as well. So if you can't physically get yourself to St Andrews, you'll be able to watch it live as well, which is fantastic. And the competitors will play a little bit longer. So our 6 finalists will actually play, a little bit longer. They'll get a chance to maybe show some new repertoire, expand on some of the ideas that maybe they had in the heats, with these repertoire choices. We had some really good contrasting repertoire choices. So we're giving you the opportunity to build on that creativity, and it will be like a concert. It will be like a really excellent concert for everyone to enjoy, because obviously the level of the competition was very high, and our finalists are, of course, exceptionally gifted players.
They are truly.
There we are.
Seriously, it's going to be quite a night. I mean, we've enjoyed, again, all 27 performances. I did not envy the judges one tiny bit. We just had to sit here and go, yeah, that was awesome. And that's all we had to do.
No, absolutely. And the scores generally were very close. You know,
Yes.
there were some scores where people were really into one particular player or another, you know, across the whole panel of the jury. But then, you know, when we sort of got everything added together, I was like, actually, it's very close pretty much throughout most of the competitors. So it's really, really interesting to see people raising their level up and really presenting good music making. So, look, without further ado, I think it's probably time that we get into it.
Yes, let's please give them a break. You know,
Okay. Well, like I say,
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, in no particular order, we're going to share some clips of each finalist and talk a little bit about the repertoire that they chose as well. So the first finalist that we'll announce of the 6 is Stefano Moti. Did a fabulous job, really beautiful playing. His repertoire, if you remember, was the Tango in Sky, very, very famous work for guitar by Roland Diens. And then Ferdinand Ribe's little variations on Schubert's Vegan Lied. So really contrasting.
Very much. The Tango in Sky is hilarious and really went through it like the flying fingers, but with great expression and care and fun in all of that sound and in a huge contrast with the Schubert.
Exactly. And I think Emma made the point. She said something like, you know, it's a real warhorse of the repertoire. Everybody plays it. And sometimes when you see it in a program, you sort of think, okay, heard this one a million times. But Stefano brought that to life. You know, he really gave it, you know, a lot of energy. And then the Schubert, then he showed off so many other aspects as well. So his programming was really, really clever. And of course, just what the jury were looking for, expressive musicality. So let's hear a little bit of Stefano's Heat. We'll hear a little bit of the Tango in Sky and then a little bit of the Ribe variations on Schubert before we introduce our second finalist. Wow.
And artistry, it just really draws you in. You can see that, you know,
You can.
when the performer is giving that. And as we've always said, the chat tended to go very silent.
Yeah.
Like that. They didn't want to type. They just wanted to be with them in that moment?
That was something that really surprised me in a way, because we've been in and out of the digital age. We've been dipping our toe into it, and things like COVID and the pandemic, that was horrendous, but it actually forced a lot of people to think about their education online, think about how they interact and things like that. And I just wondered, like, does some of the magic come across, and it's easy to say that it doesn't, but like over the last 3 nights, I kind of felt like, actually, like you just said, the chat just stopped, or we all kind of like froze a little bit. And it happened through the night with a lot of the performers. We just were really drawn into them, as you would be in a live gig.
Right. Yeah. I did not feel a distance between me and the performers a lot of time. And that is a gift.
That is a gift, yeah.
And that stands out. That's why we have 6 out of 27. But even in the other 21, there were many who drew us in as well in so many different ways.
I can't wait to hear them play live. That's the thing as well. Like, I can't wait to hear it, then go to that next stage where we actually hear the performances live. Well, Kate, over to you. You want to introduce our next finalist?
I will gladly and joyfully tell you that our next finalist is Kianush Robeson. Congratulations, Kianush. My goodness, Kianush played a bunch of preludes by Manuel Ponce and Etruscan preludes by Reginald Smith Brindle.
Beautiful, beautiful,
yeah,
really beautiful, and it's just great to see the contrast now between finalists already. So Stefano and Kianush are very different players, and that is what we're celebrating. We're celebrating different ways to approach things musically and technically, different ways to express yourself, and there's so much in both of the finalists that we've already revealed. There's some differences in the way Kianush approaches maybe some of the detail in the score, maybe some of the sounds that he looks to create, the poise that he has when he plays. In some ways, he's a less physical player, but he's doing something different with sound all the time. It's really fascinating to watch. I mean, I know I wasn't commenting like a judge over the last 3 nights, and we had a few people in the chat, and they were like, "Can we get McAllister's opinion?" And I was like, "No, it's not. I'm not giving opinions. I'm not. I'm just my lips are sealed." But now we have the 6. I'm really interested in them as guitarists, them as musicians, them as people. And I want to figure out how they work, and how they produce what they're producing. Really, really quite sensitive and beautiful playing there from Kianush.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful to see them in the finals. Now, Michael, this lovely playing. Michael just made a comment earlier too. I love this. Who just said it makes me want to practice more, and in my view, that means they've done their jobs. If they make you want to practice more, that means they've inspired you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that the best? There it is right there. Yeah. The best kind of art inspires you to make your own or improve your own of whatever it is you're working on. So
absolutely. 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 Well, it's time to move on to our third finalist and reveal them. Our third finalist is Oan Treel. And Oan's performance was really, really incredible. Very, very special. He started with the first movement of the Sonata Giacosa by Rodrigo, very famous piece for guitar, showing off a lot of flair and a lot of technical ability. And then he moved on and played the entree from the Suite Infidel by Sylvius Leopold Weiss. And that is as contrasting as it can actually be there, pretty much. I mean, at that point, I was like, okay, you are showing off really a huge variety of skills within the musical field. I mean, the eras are very far apart. Even just the rhythmical ideas in the music are very, very far apart as well. And as if that wasn't enough, the Rodrigo
both in a blender.
and the Weiss. Yeah. He then played some Elliott Carter for us, just to sort of like blow the doors off, so really, really hitting the brief square in the middle with this contrast, So let's hear a little bit of Oan's preliminary round Heat. Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. I can't remember who it was last night. If it was maybe Tom Avilato, but it was one of our jury, and they just said, it's such a well-chosen program. It shows so many things about what you can do, And I mean, this is maybe a thought just for everybody, watching, because I know a lot of the competitors are watching. And as we say, we only have room for 6 finalists, and I wish we had room for more. I really mean that. I wish we had room for more, because there was so much great musicianship on display. And of course, why you end up with 6 players who progress is because they've found the way to put everything together. They found a way that putting everything about what they're trying to become together is then going to give them a final product, a final mechanism and mode of making music that can convey it to you and can get them sort of over the line. And I don't think there was a player in all of the 27th that doesn't have at least 1 or 2 of all of the aspects that are required. And it's just working on some of the other areas to bring everything up to get that level consistent. And that's what we were seeing with the finalists that have been chosen. That's why the jury have done such a good job, is, each competitor is going to get quite a lot of detailed feedback from the jury member that was live on the heat. So there was, 3 jury members live on each heat, and they were writing comments for every player. And those comments are really insightful. I've been reading them today, sitting on a plane today, and I was reading comments coming in from Tom Avilato, from Emma Rush, from Stefano Moti, from Uros Baric, from Stephen Mattingly, from Catherine Klingerberg, from Katrina Lee, from Matthew Cochrane. I mean, these people were all taking their time and their energy to really dial in on all the performances and give really structured and detailed feedback. And I feel like if the other competitors that maybe don't get through to the final, if they can read it and take it really on board, it's all about trying to get to where the level of what you're producing is kind of even, and then you can really express. There's not one thing lacking here or there. Everything's where it should be, and because it's a tough job to put that all together. But people are so close.
Yeah, well, being smart about your art is part of the job.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Part of the job. You have all the talent and all the artistry and everything, but you have got to make smart choices, and those choices that Eugen made, smart choices.
Yeah.
So hopefully all the other competitors, as they get to make new programs and for the finals and stuff, will really look at all the choices everybody made and start thinking about how they can really best show themselves off.
Yeah, absolutely. Smart about your art. I love that, Kate. I love that. That's perfect. Well, let's move on and reveal the next finalist.
Okay, I am very excited next to congratulate Gonzalo Caetano. Congratulations, Gonzalo, who played for us Leo Brouwer, La Gran Sarabanda, and Aitor Villalobos, the Etude number 3.
Beautiful.
Just
Beautiful
beautiful.
playing. Beautiful playing.
One thing I noticed about his playing, everybody shows their expressiveness differently, right? And he uses a ton of what we'd call body English, right? He's not moving around a lot. So much dynamic energy in his fingers, it's in his head, but it's still coming through. And I think that's also what we're talking about in the vast differences with our performers, that they're still managing to convey a ton, but they all do it so differently.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. And it's the body language is really interesting as well, because, at times body language can be slightly incongruent with what's going on musically, and we have to think about our audience and what our audience are experiencing as we play. And sometimes, we maybe make a face, or we contort our body into a particular position because something's difficult and we're showing that it's hard to do. And sometimes for someone who's just come along to hear a beautiful guitar concert and escape the daily grind of their life, and they've come to hear some beautiful classical music for escapism, they don't want to see that it's hard, And sometimes when you hear that effortless ease, Gonzalo has really very, very good hands. Like when you watch him play, it's like sometimes I was kind of going, oh, after the fact, I was kind of noticing something. I was so fluid, that the notes just kind of wash over you, So he's really got very connected hands, very fast reflexes, but that means maybe then that there's a kind of ease as well, which then makes the performance extremely enjoyable. And sometimes it allows your head to go somewhere else, because you're not necessarily, dealing with the physicality of the player. You're then starting to think, and your imagination starts to wander. And isn't that, what music's all about? Is that imagination? And there he is, actually. He's watching. Hello, Gonzalo. Congratulations.
Congrats,
Well done.
Gonzalo.
Well done. It's a beautiful performance. Great to see. And then fellow competitors, that is lovely. That's what it's all about, is the camaraderie of it all. Because I say this a lot to my students, but your students that you have in your school or your conservatoire or in your network, they're your future colleagues. They're your future colleagues and friends and collaborators of the future. So these are all connections that you're making that are very, very important, and a comment there, Gonzalo plays like Chopin. That is high praise.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
High praise indeed. I don't know about you, Gonzalo, but I'd have that on the back of my CD, my first album, if anyone makes those anymore.
Plays
I
like
would have
Chopin.
that quote.
Do we know how Chopin played, though? Because we got a piano roll or something?
I don't know. Well, we've got early recordings of lots of guitarists, we can actually hear. We had a lot of Barrios played in this competition, and we can actually hear some old cylinder recordings of Agustin Barrios Mangoré playing, and we can hear some of these really old recordings where we hear, Rachmaninoff playing his own piano music, and it's very different, maybe a little bit more austere, than we expect. Maurice Ravel as well is a good example of it. People maybe play it a little bit more romantically. So, yeah, I know Chopin. Wonder how he sounded. You would imagine beautiful,
Probably pretty good, I figure.
Yeah, for sure. He was all right. I love it. He was okay. He was okay.
Who's next?
Who's next? Okay. I'm still in the chat here. I'm so excited.
Oh, you're still in chat? I mean, we can still talk about Chopin if you want, but I'm guessing our competitors want to know who else has made.
Okay. You're pushing me on here a little bit. Okay. So our next finalist is actually, I believe, the youngest of our 6 finalists. And it is Alex Krylov. Well done, Alex. Beautiful playing. Very much enjoyed by the jury. Great comments I was reading, which you'll be sent in due course. Everyone will be sent their comments in due course. Great comments from the jury. Alex played some Schubert, Lob de Trennen, arranged by Johann Caspar Merz. And then he played Primavera Porteña by Astor Piazzolla in an arrangement by Sergio Assad. So again, in terms of the only requirement of the competition, really, which was to contrast, to show us as much as you possibly could about your potential and your musicianship, Alex did the job there, with the Schubert contrasting very much with the Piazzolla. So let's have a little listen to Alex's Heat. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. There's a yeah, there's a real vitality to it. There's a real vitality to it because I'm not sure. It's interesting. I think some of our other competitors have done lots of competitions, and I don't get the feeling, just with his age and where he is, that he's done that many competitions, Alex. But he's already displaying many of those qualities and many of those things that we've already been discussing this evening, and that our jury were discussing earlier on in the heats too. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see in the next, few months as he approaches the final, what will change or what will develop or what things he'll look to build upon, but a really, really interesting player. A lot to look out for there, for sure.
Yeah, he has a great, again, that mix of technical precision and soul. He's a very soulful player. And I think that is one of the things that just, gives the audience a lot of empathy, just kind of draws them right in. It's just wonderful playing there.
Exactly. And an audience are picking up on it right there as well. Vitality, but also such nuanced, sensitive Schubert lyricism, so again, it's showing off more than one skill, showing off different repertoire and drawing us into the performance again, making us listen and directing us to listen to specific things in the play. And so, very good. And yeah, like I say, I think one of the younger competitors, it was in a sense, because there was no age category, really quite wide, in terms of ages of presenters, of players that came to present their music. That was a nice thing about it, I thought, that spread of ages.
Yeah. And in fact, when people were asking, am I too old? Can I do one when I'm 29 or 30? And the answer was, oh, heavens, yes. Please do, as you mature as an artist. So, I mean, you can come out as a young Wunderkind and just kill it. But imagine a grown-up Wunderkind later, with all of the maturity and everything that comes with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before you announce our final competitor of the six, I just want to say just a few words, just generally about the entire competition so far, what we've got to look forward to, and also just for our viewers, to know what's coming next. If you missed the beginning of the show, we've announced the six finalists. We've announced 5 of the 6 so far, in no particular order. The jury did score. The jury scored everybody out of 10, and they wrote feedback on the players that they were present with during the heat that they attended. So every single player has feedback from 3 judges, and it was really a really esteemed panel, which showed breadth across our industry. I don't like using the word industry so much in music.
It's an industry, though, man. It is.
It is, and you were right. Smart with your art. You've got to be smart with your art.
Artist is a valid job. That means it's an industry.
Absolutely. There you go. That's a great way to think of it. And of course, we had the violinist Katrina Lee, who plays in the Scottish Ballet Orchestra and with most of the notable orchestras in the UK. Fabulous musician, and also has a duo with violin and guitar. Was a member of our first jury. We also had Dr. Matthew Cochrane, who's head of guitar studies at the Interlochen Academy. Fantastic to get his advice. He was actually present in 2 of the heats. The Icelandic guitarist Svanar Vilbergsson from Iceland, from Reykjavik, dialed in on the first night to give his guidance and an advice. And then we also had the Slovenian guitarist, recording engineer, producer, arranger, Uros Baric, who had really fantastic advice for the guitarists. It was really quite special. Katrin Klingerberg, one half of Duo KM, and of course, the co-artistic director of the Nürtingen International Guitar Festival, has written some fantastic feedback and critiques for the guitar players. Emma Rush, the Canadian guitarist, was fabulous last night, just really insightful, and giving some really positive feedback and things that were tangible that you could really immediately think, yeah, if I do that, I'll get better. I think the same with Thomas Villotto, the great French virtuoso. He just exuded, as usual, charm, but got right to the point. I love that. It's just absolutely excellent advice. And Stephen Mattingly, Dr. Stephen Mattingly, also joined us from University of Louisville in Kentucky last night and shared many of his thoughts and observations about the players. So a really fantastic panel. I don't think I missed anyone out there. I hope I didn't. And just such invaluable advice to our performers. So all 27 will receive that feedback. We will then, of course, move to the final. 14th of July, St Andrews on the east coast of Scotland, one of the most beautiful towns in the world, in my opinion, but obviously in Scotland on the east coast. And that is where the classical guitar retreat takes place. So if you don't know what the classical guitar retreat is, go online, have a look at cgretreat.com. It's a festival dedicated to guitar. It's been running for about 14 years in Scotland. And on the Sunday, the competition will be a major part of that. This final, it'll be a concert within the programme of concert activity during the festival. There's still places, so if you really fancy coming and seeing this final live and attending a guitar festival at the same time, which is no bad thing, you can still book places on the course. It will be live streamed. So if you can't get yourself there in person, you'll be able to watch the final live as well. And we absolutely hope that Kate Botello will be hosting from Michigan in America, and I'll be hosting on site in St Andrews. So I hope that fills them in. Do they need to know anything else, Kate? Is there anything else to tell them?
I don't think so.
No, we're done?
Except maybe like the last person who made it to the finals.
Absolutely. Maybe that.
Maybe we should do that. Okay, let's all take a breath. Last one. Here we go. Our sixth finalist. Heartfelt congratulations to Łukasz Żuko. Congratulations, Łukasz, performing the J.S. Bach Courant BWV 995 and Giuliani's variations on an aria from Rossini's Otello.
Bravo. A lovely way to bring the results show to a close, really. And look at Phil's comment there. Congratulations to all the finalists, the participants, judges, and hosts for a fantastic event. Well, Phil, thank you very, very much. And oh, look at that. I've got to put this comment on screen. It's just too much. It's just too much. Eleanor there. I think, yeah, there we go. Look at that. I love the show, Dad. It was amazingly awesome. Love, Martha. Well, there you go. Exactly. That's very good. I agree entirely, Martha. And then we have another comment coming in. Jim there. Thanks to all the players, each a winner. I love the connection over the 3 evenings. Fantastic. And then Andrew, good luck to all in July. Such super performances. And you know, the heats are there. You can review the 3 performances from the 3 nights. You can really study the players. We'll probably put together a little compilation of the 6 finalists and also a compilation of some of the other highlights from the competition, because in lots of the other performances, there were things that really stood out as right at the top of the things that we heard over the 3 heats. So we want to share those, and we want to present those young players to the wider guitar audience out there as well. So look out on the gallery over the coming weeks for a little bit more focused and in-depth, maybe promo, let's say, of the 6 finalists, and a little look back onto some of the other highlights from the 3 heats.
And there were so many. I mean, everybody did something wonderful at some point. So there is much to see, and anything that helps in their careers. You can learn some new guitarists that you'll love. Keep your eyes out for them, because you'll see them again in the future, and you will have heard them here first. So you can be like, oh, I was in on the ground floor with that one. Thank you. It's going to be brilliant.
Exactly. Really great from the community. Such great support for the young players. We appreciate it. And Kate, you have been a fabulous host.
Thank you, Matthew. You have been a fabulous anchor, and what a wonderful thing you have put together here. Congratulations, mate. It is terrific.
It's an absolute pleasure to present all of these very talented young people in such a positive way. It means the world to everybody, I hope. So thank you all very much, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye for now.